What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Christian Kuntz Podcast. I'm here with my boys Vinny.
What up?
And Trey.
Yo.
You know who's in the building, Tiger Hood, a.k.a. Swing. We got Jesse behind the boards. We have no special guests today, but that's all right because we want to hype up what's going on next week, Thursday, April 24th. We are hosting the NFL Steelers Draft Party live at Stage AE.
Let's go, baby. Let's
go.
Yeah,
let's go. We're fired up about it. We got some fun things planned. I'm excited. I went to the McAfee big night out.
Same.
Big night out, dude.
Same.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Great.
What was your biggest takeaway from it?
I just, his demeanor on stage and how he kind of carries himself and like he's off script and he just like, I feel like he matches Pittsburgh's energy.
For sure.
Like he matches a gritty energy. He matches almost like I'm a plumber from Pittsburgh. Like I don't really give a shit. And like he does. And like, dude, the stories he told, like he was just off the dome. Yeah. He had some phenomenal guests.
For sure.
Fucking Jelly Roll, Wiz, Snoop.
Crazy.
He was high
Shane
as heck.
Gillis.
He was high as heck on that stage. Boy,
Dude.
he was lost.
They brought on sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like
What side were
we
you
called
on?
after. I called Vinny after. Dude, they brought sumo wrestlers to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Who'd you have? What side were you on?
I was split in the middle because me and Pat were sitting on the floor.
Okay.
I think it was like in the family section because I think Pat's dad and Tony Diggs hooked up Pat with the tickets. So we were like right on the floor and I was split, but it was hilarious. Hiroshige, whatever everyone was chanting, dude. They motherfucker 580 pounds.
Man,
Like
I was disappointed in Hiroki.
Hiroki.
Yeah, I was so disappointed.
Oh, that's who it was.
That's
Hiroki.
on his side. I was like, come on, bro. You gave me him, bro. You didn't have no force, no push. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, and how about like Shane Gillis, his commentary, like he
had
is a
no
beauty.
idea.
Yeah.
He's
hilarious.
so funny, dude. And
He had no
like
idea.
the amount of money that they gave away. Like imagine sitting in one of those seats winning $2 million. Like what's going on? Like
Yeah, what's that guy's life like? We need to get him on the podcast. How do we get that dude that won the $2 million on the podcast talk about that? That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
that would be crazy. Like what were you going through? Even the people that won like 150 grand.
They're just having
Yeah.
they're having a baby like that right around like they're pregnant at this time.
Who,
the people that won? Yeah,
2 million?
From what I heard, yeah.
Dude, I hit
Yeah.
an Eagles jersey on
Yeah.
too, which
Yeah,
is like
got
everyone.
immediately booed.
What was hilarious? What was
That's
hilarious
awesome.
is like, dude, when they were announcing like the suite level, everyone booed the suite level because they just like assumed that those were people with money. Like
That's
Yeah.
so
Every time, though. Like, it was wild.
they were like lower bowl, and everyone kind of upper bowl, and everyone went nuts because it's like this. He's like the $6 seats.
Yeah.
I just thought it was one of the best live performances
Ever.
like entertaining as hell. The artists there, the money given away.
Yeah.
I hope he does it again here.
Yeah, he will for sure,
for
dude. I
sure.
mean, he sees that, he's being part of like the WWE like that. He sees the energy that, I really thought Aaron Rodgers, I know he said he wasn't going to do it, but I
did
really
too.
thought like the
Yeah.
stone cold glass was going to break and it was just going to be like chaos and just,
That place-
Aaron Rodgers comes down like with a Budweiser truck and just like hoses
been
off
awesome.
like you know what I mean? Like the old Stone Cold era. Like
that
that's what I
would
was
that
expecting.
place would have erupted.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
If A-Rod would have came out there. We will we got some guests coming on for the draft party. I mean, it's not Jelly Roll and Wiz and Snoop. And
No,
those
some
dude,
guys.
people,
hype
though.
this thing up. We need to
No,
talk
we
about
got-
this.
we got some
This-
people.
This is crazy.
We got a good panel. We got our guy Beanie Bishop coming on with Zach Frazier, who we haven't had on before. So
That's huge.
I'm interested to hear you guys bicker. But I'm sure you had your Pitt, West Virginia battles, but two teammates in college that are now teammates in the NFL for the Steelers, which is crazy. Our second panel, Peyton Wilson and Kendrell Bell.
Kendrell Bell's
That's sick.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a picture of Kendrell Bell signed. We saw him at Benihana in Greentree when I was younger, and he signed. For some reason, we had a picture or something. We knew he was going to be there, and we went and got a picture signed. So I'll never
Yeah,
forget.
that's
Like
cool.
he was in '97 before Cam. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's probably going to
Yeah.
wear '97 after
So
that.
I wanted to ask, like, how do you feel like, because we just, you just seen the Pat McAfee podcast, Pittsburgh kid, right? Got the draft coming up. You're also a Pittsburgh kid. It's like the stars are aligning, I think, with the fact that all these things are happening and it's becoming more prominent. And, especially if Pittsburgh could tap into more of like, hey, this is a real possibility. You don't have to be in California. You don't have to be in Miami. You could do this all in Pittsburgh. And, I always say it's the biggest small city. And I think, like, we can do these types of things. And, you know, I hope that you're a part, and this podcast is a part of leading the charge for that. And, you know, the McAfee show, you know, whatever, you know, he ends up doing, like, I think that, you know, it's got to be a trip for you. You know, not only you're on the Steelers, right? You know, you
crazy,
went to Duquesne,
dude.
like now you're doing a podcast. Now you're hosting the draft party. Like that's
Where's
gotta
my
be
helmet?
crazy
Where's my
for you.
freaking helmet?
Oh, dude, where's the
now,
helmet?
now I'm pissed.
Oh, dude, we
No,
don't get
but-
Christian's rider in here. This is over, dude.
No, but dude,
Water
it
the
is.
right temperature right here.
See, I got the lemon in there too. It's sweating a little bit.
This guy
Here it comes.
hits episode 40 and got all kinds of.
Get this
you know.
in here. That's
Look at
how
that.
I'm like-
All right, well, hold on. Before you jump into the panels, for the people that are listening that don't know what the hell we're talking about, like, what is this week? So this episode drops on Thursday, a week from the day that this drops. If you're listening to this on the day that it drops, right?
Drops
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah. So then a week from when this drops, we'll be sitting at Stage A live during the first round of the NFL draft for an event that the Steelers are putting on, and we're just hosting.
Yeah.
So from me to you guys, this shit's crazy.
Oh, it's
so
nuts.
like we need to like just embrace that for a second, because something that we just dreamed up and envisioned, like this shit's really like happening. And so I want to know like what it feels like for you to get that. You know, you've told us like, you know, Mr. Rooney himself has said that, you know, he messes with our show, and like he's watched it and he's like said positive things like, dude, we're like, this is crazy. So to get that validation from the Steelers to be like, hey, we want to give you the stage and interview all these amazing people, like what's that feel like?
Yeah, and back to Jesse too, because it was
Yeah,
similar.
sorry.
It was it's crazy, dude. Like we're from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I'm from Pittsburgh. To see
Yeah.
what Pat's an anomaly, dude. He's
Right.
he's the best entertainer on the planet. Literally,
Yeah.
he's the best entertainer on the planet. But to be able to do the draft party, be from Pittsburgh, to have you guys here, like I know you guys appreciate it, and you guys are from
All
Pittsburgh,
from
and
Pittsburgh, yeah.
it's just it's wild. It's wild, and the fact that we have like a first round panel of
Nuts.
Louis Lips, Santonio
Santonio.
Holmes. We got Casey Hampton coming on. Like
Right.
we got some big time guests that we didn't grow up seeing Louis Lips. Maybe you, Vin, you're a little older. No,
Shut up,
but no, but seriously, it's
I
just
wasn't blocked.
it's crazy. Like my dad knows these guys. He's gonna help me with some questions, some topics. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
so it's surreal, and like I don't even. It's gonna be amazing. I'm
Right.
pumped. We're gonna be on stage. It's open to the public. You have to RSVP online, but
link in the description.
yeah,
Go
the
check
link will
that
be
out.
in our bio, in our description, everything. So we'll have that taken care of. But I'm excited.
You nervous?
No, and like Heather has asked me that a million times. She's
Yeah.
like, do you get nervous? I'm like, no, not really. It's just, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do the same thing we're doing in here.
100%.
You play
I'm
in the
nervous as
Coliseum.
shit, dude. This shit's crazy.
I'm not, bro. I'm
Yeah.
excited, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm
man.
excited, but like, dude, this is cool.
This is nuts, bro. I sit back and think about the little kid that used to sit in front
Yeah.
of the TV screen and like kind of just picture some of these things out,
Right.
right? Like whether it's playing for the Steelers or doing
Yeah.
something where the whole city recognizes the stuff that you're working on and the hard work that you put in. I mean,
Yeah,
they all see Christian as the long snapper, but the hard work that you put in doing this as well, bro. Like,
yeah.
it's definitely need to be accredited too, man. So
I
like,
appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you too, because it's not nervous. It is more of excitement. Like I'm not nervous because I know what we're doing is like
Yeah, authentic.
it's special and it's authentic. Like, and just being able to show up as yourself is
Man.
like so refreshing. And to get to do that with you boys, man, I'm pumped. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's I'm excited for the painting,
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
We're gonna be giving
kinds of
away,
secrets.
a painting signed by each guest, made by Vinny. And if I'm sure we talked about the art. I know we don't got any up here, but the art's crazy. The sneaker games are crazy.
Yeah, we're
got
raising
other
money,
stuff.
so we're giving that painting away, and I think we're gonna raffle it off. Is what we landed on
Yep.
at the event. So if you're there, you'll have a chance to buy raffle tickets to get this painting that's signed by all of our panel guests, and
cool.
all the money's going to Light of Life Foundation. So support Craig Wolfley and
Yep.
like all the amazing things he did. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing to be a part of that. And I know Jesse's been stocking up on some stuff, and
Yeah, we got some exclusive for the first time Christian Kuntz podcast merch.
let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Surprise.
We needed-
Surprise.
We needed that out there. But yeah, if you guys, anyone listening, come out, support Stage AE next Thursday, 7:00 live from the draft. And no, I don't know who we're drafting. I don't think they know. What's
No.
funny is like how many people are like, "Who are we drafting?" Like, I'm
There's
like,
a lot of
dude.
rumblings. Have you? I mean,
There.
I'm
dude,
sure you've probably heard
I love
of stuff.
I love hopping on Twitter and seeing like people, their top 30 visits was this position, this guy. They're definitely going there because they've done that in the past. It's like, dude, what they don't understand is whoever the best player available is, they're taking.
Yeah.
They're taking.
It's no position. It's like whoever that best player is that we think is the best player at that point, they're taking.
We really might be one of the teams that make a really big splash in it. I mean, there's still obviously uncertainty with the quarterback, but I mean, it's all out there. It's all public knowledge. There's stuff about Steelers potentially trading up to a pretty high position and really changing the boards. And then there was the great conversations with Shador, and there's obviously the rumblings of Jackson Dart, and does Genty fall to us? Like, there's a lot of different things that might happen. And I think not only the first round I heard about, but I heard also in the third round, like there might be another trade up. So Steelers, I mean, what's also interesting is last year we did all those, we made a huge splash in the offseason as far as like, getting people. And we did obviously this year with DK. So is this the year that we're going to make a really big splash in the draft? And
I think next year is.
It's a little bit newer for us. I think personally, from what I've experienced.
I mean, I think the Steelers have been a lot more active in the recent years from what I can remember.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I paid attention to it obviously like I do now, but I just feel like
We never did shit like that.
yeah, we've been really active in
this
free
crazy.
I
agency.
mean, granted, we didn't have to because we had Big Ben for 40 years.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
We got pretty spoiled with Ben.
Yeah.
I'm Pittsburgh, I think, starting to realize that, like how dominant that dude was.
No, he definitely was dominant, and to also kind of see Pat McAfee bring out all the legends was pretty cool, bro.
I
Like,
didn't even talk about that.
man, that thing was jumping one, but to see that they were the ones who would throw the football to go see if somebody would win $2 million, $3 million, that's cool as shit.
Incredible.
I'm actually curious about this because as a fan, and I think we could all relate on this, and it just hit me now. So, as you were kids growing up and watching it, everybody was older, right? You're watching like these grown adults, even though they were like 21 to 23, you're like, these guys are, these are full grown adults. Now that and this is like a trip that we all realize in that getting to our later 20s, 30s, and it's like, oh shit, like these guys are like 23 years old, 21 years old jumping in. So my question is like, it's been a trip for me. I'm sure it's been for, you guys as well as like the fans, like watching, it's a little bit different with the jersey dynamic. Like I think a lot of us like the older school jerseys just because it's like, we got to wear a 21-year-old jersey.
Yeah.
But like, I want to know for you, being a veteran, there's going to be a whole new plethora of like younger dudes coming into the locker room. Like, what's a dynamic like that with you? Like, do you feel like a respect? Yeah, yeah. Thank you. But do you feel like a responsibility to like really, be a veteran? And is it kind of like a trip to see like, oh shit, this dude's 21 years old, and is time flying for you? Like the way it feels like, at least for me.
What year are you in Pittsburgh right now?
This will be my 6th. So 1 on the practice squad and then 4 active. So
Hey,
that's
congrats
5
to
total.
that.
Should be going into my 6th.
That's huge, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I was in training camp in 2019.
Right.
What's the average? 2 point something? Two and a little bit of change
Yeah,
for the
less, probably
longevity?
less.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. Like
Yeah.
it's a real thing, but
It is kind of crazy. I think I heard someone talking about it. We're gonna have like 40 new guys from that team picture we had last year.
Right.
We're gonna have 40 new
that's
guys
crazy.
in the locker room. Without that's not even counting the rookies and who's gonna make the team, draft picks, everything. And I don't really like press to, be a veteran leader. I don't think anyone really presses. I just think like just getting to know dudes and talking to people, like
Right.
if they're having lunch and you could tell a dude's like, I mean, I remember how I felt my rookie year or going to Jacksonville or going to New England and like going in the lunchroom and like, you don't know anybody.
Right.
And you're sitting by yourself or whatever. And I just think like just sitting with a dude and making him feel comfortable, that can make him a better football player.
Right.
Right.
Because like if he feels comfortable coming in the building, oh, that dude talked to me.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
that can make him feel comfortable and like be comfortable in the meetings. And then he can be like, okay, I do feel comfortable asking a question that can help me on the field.
Right.
As opposed to like, hey, like we need to lead and we need to do this. I just feel like it needs to be like more organic. Like you just need to get to know a dude and
Right.
and
All
move
that
from
rah-rah
there.
stuff's great, but like
Yeah.
nobody needs that. You know what I
No.
mean? I mean, you do it like in moments,
Mhm.
but like you only earn that if you have those moments. Like you have that real connection first.
100%.
Then when you need to get in someone's face, you can do it because you've earned that respect. If you just come in and like try to be like, oh, I'm the leader in here because nobody cares.
No.
You know what I
And that's
mean?
also difficult, man, because now that can also be pivotal to somebody's career. Like somebody just coming up to them and talking to them, or they just continue to be a loner, right? 'Cause
Right.
there's a lot of first round guys who don't make it after 5 years or don't make it after 3 years, right? And they're on a high top tier contract, quote unquote, right? So it's like when you see guys like that and they're just sitting by themselves, if a Christian doesn't come up to him and talk to him, he might literally just have a shitty year. You know what I'm saying? Like overall.
Yeah.
So like
it's funny to think that there's people like you in the locker room that are thinking like that, and then there's also like Debo that's like, wash my back in the shower. If you miss this.
Right.
You have to walk into that environment and be like, all right, I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I got to live in the middle of that. Like,
It's got to be like an insane dynamic though, watching like again a 21-year-old walk into the locker room that potentially was a first round pick. There's money tied to it. There's expectation, and there's almost like this aura. I'm assuming like for you guys to like look at this guy, like holy shit,
And
like
expect greatness.
Yeah, like there's got to be such like a weight that you see and like almost feel, and I think a role that whether you have paid attention to it or not, every guy that's been on this podcast has spoken very highly of how you interact with everybody in the locker room. But that's just your character, and that's just who you are as a human, and that's why this podcast is cool because you get to actually see that. Nobody sees behind closed doors who's actually a glue guy in the locker room, and lo and behold, it's a long snapper that
you are Pittsburgh, bro. Like I can say that through and through. Like you deserve it. I mean, he's gonna cry.
No, I got something in my eye.
Dude, you're
that lemon
Pittsburgh.
juice.
Don't drink this. There's creatine in here. I'm getting jacked.
No, this is a celebration, man. Like that night, it's not just a podcast from a draft party. Like you are Pittsburgh embodied in like
Facts.
this show. So like, I'm gonna quit being so sentimental, but like I'm pumped. Like, it means a lot to me. So
Yeah, we're fired up. I want to get back to the first round draft pick thing because those guys they hold a lot of pressure. Like,
That's what I'm thinking.
people think it's all glit and glamour being a first round pick, but at the same time,
It'd be
like
terrifying.
I just read some Laquan Treadwell.
Yeah.
The first round receiver drafted. I can't remember.
Minnesota.
Just hit 10 years.
Minnesota hit 10 years in the league.
Yeah.
And people were calling him a bust.
I was gonna say,
Dude
go
played
right
10
to
years in the
comments.
league.
I know.
Come on.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like it don't matter. Like if you played 10 years, like anybody that's played a significant time in the league, like you just gain a certain amount of respect for him because like the grind, the struggle, the stress, that environment creates, and to be able to last that long and freaking grind it out after being called a bust and being called
A lot of
trash.
different things.
A lot of different things by people you don't even know.
Right.
Like it's a testament, and it does hold a lot of pressure though. But
Now, is he a bust because he made X amount of $1 million after 10 years? Like, if you think about it, people spend 10 years in a career and only make a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
This man spent
lucky.
10 years of his life grinding, busting his ass just to stay in the league, and has made probably anywhere upward to $20 to $30 million in his entire existence, right? So,
Yeah.
so stuff like that, bro, you just got to let certain people just talk.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
they don't get it.
I just want to say real quick to really emphasize on the pressure part that people don't see. I'm sure you guys have heard about the tragic story with Kyron Lacey from
man.
LSU. I mean,
Rest in peace.
now nobody knows all the details, obviously, but that's not to say that there is probably an immense amount of pressure that he was feeling at the time. Now there was off the field stuff, and who's to say on like what was going on fully? I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's a young kid, it's a young man,
100%.
and to experience something like that, knowing that this guy was going to go in the first round, like this was not just a no-name guy that was causing all these issues, but and then you think about the way he was kind of portrayed online, because again, very just a different personality, right? It's not for everybody, but at the end of the day, it's tough to see that stuff, and we want to talk about pressure. I mean, that's one of the ultimate testaments to like what this is really, this the weight and pressure. So
that's devastating. It's sad. It could change like this, like one bad decision, one anything. Like our lives are really spotlighted. Yeah, and sometimes they're spotlighted in the wrong ways, and they're spotlighted by people that they have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
So,
it's so sad.
Like that's why I feel like we started this. Like we wanted to put guys in these seats that can tell their story of who they are and why they're here and what they've been through, and like the real them, and not just like an article that came out that we click on and we read and then we think it's true.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
we got to get the real guy
If you
in
want
here.
to talk to people, you should talk to them.
Yes.
Like if you want to hear their story, like
Hear it
if you,
from the
like,
horse's mouth.
Talk
Yeah.
to them.
I like that.
if you
Yeah.
got questions about someone, call them.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Check in with him.
Right.
Make sure he's good.
Why'd this happen? Call them. Like,
Yeah.
sit them in front of the camera, tell their life story. Like that's the kind of shit people need. And like the media, like typical media that we see is like it forms narratives, and like
and they're young, bro. Like I don't care who you are, bro. 23, you're still a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I don't care who you are as a human being, you're still a kid,
yeah.
right? So now put all that pressure on a kid that now is making millions of dollars or has the opportunity to. Then add on top of that, everybody's slandering your name, talking about you in some type of respective way, right? And you still haven't figured out who you are yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some parts of you as a man that you're still trying to figure out. And we're getting closer to 30 than anything.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
further on to 40, right? So, like, bro, these kids, bro, like, I'm keeping it real. These kids are again just kids. But people treat them like superhumans, right?
Yep.
And I get it, bro. They do some superhuman things. You do some superhuman things, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you're still human first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You still got issues. You still got things going on.
Yeah, and it's exponentially different now. I mean, years ago, you're in a spotlight. It's like modern gladiators, right? Everybody shows up to see us. But in these past couple of years, it's changed exponentially with gambling, and then NIL, and then even it's like people are looking at this shit like it's Madden, right? Like it's just a player with a rating, and it's this guy that he cashed my parlay, he didn't, he was a yard short, or this dude's a bum, like. And I've heard about people talking about it. I think it was a couple of years ago, Scooter Jeanette, baseball player. He's like, we were already getting yelled at and talked about on the field. And then when sports gambling a couple of years ago became more accessible across the board, he's like, you got people like MFing you about a parlay that they didn't hit. This dude's just trying to put food on his table and like trying not to go 0 for 4, you know, that day. And yet these people are in the stands, and now it's so accessible where you could gamble like on the next pitch, on the next play, like,
which is wild.
And sometimes you're also gambling on somebody's like failure, right? You know, some of this stuff was like, this guy's gonna swing and miss, and you're like cheering for him to swing and miss, like even as if you're the fan, like you could be the fan of that.
Yeah,
guy too.
it's
So
really
crazy.
It's really amplified, like guys' performances, like individual performances, because of the gambling thing. And then I like to put it in perspective. Like, imagine if you're at your job, whatever you do, if you're an accountant, if you're an engineer, and you got somebody over your shoulder, which you might have him looking over you, but you have your boss critiquing you, which is fine. Like that's we all need that. We all need somebody, stay on you. But then you have outside people screaming at you. You did that wrong. You suck. Whatever it may be. Like that alone is like, just imagine that if you're a normal 9 to 5 working, like you're doing a great job, whatever, but you have outside people screaming at you.
Yeah,
they probably couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the craziest part is some people just do it just to get the attention. Like they could be bashing you.
They all do it just for attention,
right?
Like people are hurt. People are just hurt, and they want to hurt other people that are doing things that they can't do.
100%.
And so like that's just what it comes down to. There's no secret to it. People are just hurt, and like we got to decide: do we continue to pour into that hurt, create clickbait headlines, put people on the spot, or do we just build something that's really like genuine and unique,
and authentic?
And like then we just get to celebrate and like, bro, like you're starting something big this week, and like, I hope Pittsburgh is ready for it. Like, I hope they realize, like, I see it. I see you being on a stage like McAfee had.
Yeah,
I see that as a possibility because this shit is like good. Like shit that's not good doesn't last because eventually, like, if you don't get to his level if you're stepping on people all along the way to get there.
No.
Like he stayed true. He brought his boys. He like genuinely like did it right, dude.
Right,
and that's what happens.
Right.
And like, the more people that get to see that through more people, like it's not just a one-time anomaly with Pat. If you do the real thing the authentic way, the shit works.
It works.
Yeah.
But it takes time.
Definitely takes time.
Yeah, I don't mean to keep glazing Pat, but
Bro,
but dude,
he's doing something.
It was incredible. Like when he talked about his story and how he brought his boys with him when he opened the show. Like I thought that was one of the best parts. How he just like went through. He was like, I'm a punter. Like he talked about when they played against the Steelers, he had the fake, and then how Troy Polamalu ruined his career. Like how, Polamalu whatever on the fake. And just to hear his story and like where they came from and how everyone called him an idiot for walking away from football because he was one of the best punters in the league, probably going to get paid, and he walked away to start this, and now like he's laughing at everybody.
Yeah,
like it's phenomenal.
How many times as a Pittsburgher do you feel like you see those stories though? Like, because people say like Pittsburgh is a big town, right? And you have so many great people that come from Pittsburgh and go somewhere else and do amazing things, right? Like, there's a lot of people from Pittsburgh who are doing amazing things in the world, right?
Yeah.
And now you're including as one of them. You know what I'm saying? And to continuously see Pittsburgh people come back to support, bro. He had Wiz, bro. He had Snoop. He had Jelly Roll. Not saying they're Pittsburgh people, but they love Pittsburgh. So think about how big Pittsburgh really is, and then think about how big Pittsburgh really is, right? The name of it. When you go somewhere, bro, you can be in Arizona. You could be in Italy. You could be anywhere. You say you're from Pittsburgh. People are going to be like, where? You from Pittsburgh?
It's the best.
It is crazy.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Like I did that 412 Fest this past week at Bakery Square.
Okay.
Talked to like Pittsburgh, like Yinzers coming through there, just talking about like their painting and like, they're painting with me and like we're doing like.
That's sweet.
It was so cool, bro. I'm like talking to these people about, their life and like why they're Steeler fans and like why Pittsburgh means so much to them and like all this stuff. Bro, like when you really sit down with people from like a city like this, there's like a different energy. I don't know how to explain it. I think we're going to experience that Thursday.
Yeah,
sure.
No, we are, and it'll be lit. I thought one of the cooler parts was him bringing on Malkin, Letang, Crosby, Skeens, Big Ben, and then or was it Letang? Yeah, Letang got on and was talking about Crosby, dude. He was like, he's the perfect hockey player. Which again, he got nominated for the most complete player. He's how old? 38.
Yeah.
Complete player for the 6th year in a row.
Nuts.
Voted by his peers.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's like dudes playing against him saying this dude is still at the highest level, the most complete hockey player in the world. And then he was like, he's a perfect boyfriend, teammate.
It was so good.
It just matched Crosby because like we don't hear much from
At
Crosby.
all.
Like he's real low key and he's professional as hell.
And he's chill. And he got a nice arm. That boy threw that football, boy.
I was not surprised.
Clean.
I knew he was going to hit like anything competitive or athletic. Like I feel like you could give Sidney Crosby and he's doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
He's doing it, and I don't care what it is. Like
He's just a winner, dude.
You know what's crazy though? Malkin sounded exactly how I expected Malkin to sound. Like it was pretty cool, man. And then like just because a lot of people had the expectation of watching that show that like it was gonna be a bunch of guys chilling on the couches having conversation.
Yeah.
At least I had that expectation.
I did too.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I knew really what it was gonna look like.
But how he did that show, when I tell you it's by far like the best show I've ever been a part of or seen.
Yes.
Like he spent a lot of time creating this idea, right? And then to see a sumo wrestling event, first of all, I never would have watched that otherwise. Just being honest with you, never would have probably even like thought about it. You know what I'm saying? But then like also like the fun stuff with Jelly Roll, Gillis, right? First of all, seeing Gillis trying to be the referee. This man had the most messed up stance, first and foremost, like this. And dude kept telling him go sideways. He's like, F that. I'm not gonna say that. I know, mama, you're watching. He said F that, and he was like, just sitting there, and they just kept pump faking everybody, bro.
Dude,
it was crazy.
That was unbelievable. Him on that stage, Gillis in the commentary, like we were like right in front of him too. So like, I know you could probably sometimes not hear because people were screaming loud, but like to hear his commentary on the whole sumo wrestling thing was incredible. He was hysterical, and then he matched 50K to Special Olympics.
It was cool.
It's like all those dudes, like to hear that he had guests on that
They didn't even want paid.
they didn't want paid.
Right.
Yeah, they
Just
wanted
like
to put it back.
speaks to everything that was put into that and what they think of Pat and in the city of Pittsburgh. Like I feel like performers want to come to Pittsburgh. Like that crowd was lit.
It was lit. And I'll also say this, man, like what really kind of brought things full circle for me personally because we're doing this show is like when Pat's best friend with the cowboy hat, I can't remember his name right now.
Tone Diggs.
Say it again.
Tony Diggs.
Yeah, T Diggs, man. Like
Shout out Diggs.
Duquesne.
seeing him get emotional about being in his city and doing something where he just had to take a leap of faith, I was like, okay, now this all makes sense. Now I felt like God was literally speaking to me about this situation. Like, wow, like it's cool to see a guy who didn't have the limelight, right? He didn't have the Pat McAfee football career. He didn't have any of that. But now you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really cool. And seeing him getting emotional,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I was meant to be here.
I actually got a story about Tone. They started doing some of their media stuff and planning at my cousin's bar in Bloomfield. Shout out Lot 17, Fire Bar.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
I
It's
didn't
a
know that's the family.
pit bar. Yeah. Those are my cousins. Get down to Lot 17. Drop my name. Maybe they'll give you a discount. Probably not. But no, they're
Free water.
But yeah, you'll get free water and lemon water. But no, they like started all of their planning and stuff like in bars in Bloomfield. Like I can't speak on the details of what they were doing there, but my cousins told me they used to come in there. Tone used to come in there and they were planning their shit. Like they were doing their stuff like kind of how we do our stuff here or wherever we meet and. it was cool to hear that like it started in like Bloomfield. Like
That's
what
crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy, yo. That's really
Yeah.
crazy. Y'all imagine, like, when we do this, right? And I know you fans are watching, but when we do this show, man, know that we're a bunch of Pittsburgh guys who genuinely love what we're doing. But on top of that, like, we love the city,
Yeah.
right? And we get a chance to do something for the city. So you being a Stiller, being from Duquesne, being from your high school, bro, you being from Elizabeth Forward, you being from North Hills, and me being from where I'm from, man, it's like,
It's crazy.
bro, it's crazy. And like, and sometimes, bro, we don't recognize how far we've come as men.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we look at like, man, we want to do so much more. But like, take a second, man. Because that little kid that was sitting in front of that TV during the Super Bowl, when that man, Tony Toe Taps, you know what I'm saying? Toe tapped it in. You wouldn't have thought that you'd be here right now about to say the draft pick.
bro. Yeah, this shit didn't just happen. Like we
worked at
we
this.
worked
Yeah.
for this.
Come on now.
And like, I'm excited to like show that, show
Sure.
the fruits of like what we've been building.
Yeah.
know? It's gonna be cool, and it's gonna give a lot of opportunity to a lot of people. Like as we continue to grow this,
For sure.
like good people.
Dude,
Yeah.
we have a lot of loyal listeners too. Like I know, not just like friends and family. Like shout out my dude Dom Palmasina. Like Dom listens to every episode, and he's listening. I know he's gonna be listening to this tomorrow, and he got on my ass for not giving him a shout out. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. Dom Palmasina listens to every episode, and not just like. Bro, he gives me I ask him, I'm like, I need constructive feedback. Like,
Right.
what do you like? What don't you like? What do you like to hear? And like, just to hear that from some of like my best friends that are listening or my family that's listening, it means everything. And like, to have loyal listeners, Uncle Denny.
Come
You know,
on.
he's got a
Let's go,
chew
Uncle
in
Denny,
tomorrow
dude.
morning. He'll have a chew in ride into work. Like, he'll be ready for that.
Yeah.
But like, we got people that are listening and they're taking a part of what we're doing, and I just got to give those shout outs and give those roses.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, my hope, even whether we're doing this this draft thing or not, like I'm talking even just the episodes that we put out, I do hope that there are just even that one kid that's just watching it that, kind of sees it. And I think we're pretty transparent, and we like explain, we've gotten a little bit into like who we are and, what we've built over this time. And, to just show that it doesn't always have to be the same route. Like you don't always have to, go be the leading sack leader at Duquesne and go to the Steelers and, be able to do this. And that's like, I think the role and responsibility that I at least personally take. And I'm sure, Trey and Vinny can also, agree with this as well too. But we're not,
I
NFL.
wrestled with imposter syndrome when we started this show.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still do. We're about to do this thing. It has not set in yet, and I don't know when or if it will.
It'll
but
set in when you get there on Thursday.
right, yeah, and it's going to be exciting. But God, I can't even like fathom the imagination of like myself as a kid looking at this and just anything else that we've done to this point. And I really hope that there is even one kid or one person out there that just is like, okay, this is possible. Like Pittsburgh's really not known for this, like, it's not Hollywood out here, right? But it's also a place where you like when you go into a Hollywood, you're like, this shit ain't not like we could do our thing out here. Like, and I think that's like the great dynamic of Pittsburgh that we're not impressed by the flashy shit, and like, yeah, it's nice, and you gotta like have a platform to be able to give back and do the right thing, but you can still do that on a small scale. And I see that as this podcast, and things don't change, and that's another thing too that's going to be exciting. And as this thing grows to what I hope and we all hope is going to be something massive, like I can't wait to just look at somebody and be like, that still ain't shit. I'm still a kid out of like wherever, doing my thing. Like none of this shit's going to be, it ain't that sweet. Like we're still working, still grinding, like, and just doing, no, you're good.
I just feel like that's what we were saying about Pat, right? Like the only people that actually get there are people that are just honest with themselves and like do good business, do like honest by the people that, before we got on a stage, like who was there? Like those are the people that,
right,
that deserve to go. And like that's what Pat did. That's why he was emotional when he was talking about that, is because like they went from meeting, they had the same dreams that we have right now. And so I'm speaking for myself, but like, dude, I see the fire in you. Like I know what you're like, you want this to be.
Yeah.
You don't want just to be a flash in the pan in Pittsburgh history. Like, I played for the Steelers and then I didn't do shit or give shit
moved
back
to
to the
Miami
city.
or something. Yeah.
No, it is cool. And then back to Jess's point about being true Pittsburgh, like we parked downtown to go to the show last week, Pat and I, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna go to Shales and meet my buddies. Like Shales, right across from PPG. We walk in, Like people were in line, lined up all the way down Penn Ave or Fifth Avenue, whatever street it is. I forget. That's bad of me not to know. I went to school there, but we walked in and people were screaming like "Moose," like screaming at them, like recognizing us, like buying drinks in the bar. Like we're drinking some beers. People are coming over with drinks. Like it's like, why are you guys buying us drinks?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Like what's
We
going
love
on?
you, dude.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like
They really
I don't need that Coors Light. Like I'll buy you guys a Coors Light.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to the bar. It's kind of funny. I go up to the bar and I'm like gonna grab a bucket of beer for everyone in the back that we were sitting with, and this dude turns around. I'm like, hey, can I slide in there? The bar was packed. He's like, turns around. He goes, Kuntz? I'm like, what's up, brother? He was drinking a icy light. I said, icy light? He goes, yeah. I said, we'll take 2 of those right here, icy light. He like looked at me. He's like, are you really buying me a beer?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude. I think it's $2.
Yeah.
I'll buy you the beer.
Yeah.
I got him the beer, and he's like, dude, I love the show. I listen to the show. Like, just stuff like that has been.
I love that.
It's been so cool to just go through this whole process and continue to do this thing the right way. So, again, shout out to all of our listeners and everyone
sure,
that, you know,
man.
we're excited about, you know, Thursday, the 24th, a week from today. Well, tomorrow, but it's dropping today. You get my drift. So yeah, we're pumped, and come out, support, be
what
rowdy,
up,
rowdy. Yeah,
We need that energy.
we'll have the draft live. We'll have the guests that we talked about: Casey Hampton, Louis Lips, Santonio Holmes, Kendrell Bell, the hardest hitting. Kendrell Bell was a bad
Oh,
Bad mother-
yeah.
bro.
Watch 'em
He
out.
like, didn't he lead the league in tackles like his
rookie year. He's rookie of the year. Yeah,
Crazy.
and like to have him on with Peyton is going to be
That's cool.
super cool because
Old school and new
like
school.
old school, new school mix, like
Yeah.
both linebackers for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like obviously being a linebacker in Pittsburgh is like the
Huge.
epitome of
Yeah.
linebackers.
Right.
Like you want to play linebacker, you come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So I just think, you know, not to diminish Beanie and Zach, but it's
awesome,
gonna be
too.
it's gonna be incredible. So
Zach, though, I saw him this weekend at 412 Fest. He was there for some stuff. They asked him like this trivia question, and he didn't get it right. They asked him about Mr. Rogers, and he didn't answer it. So we got to educate this dude. He can't be coming into this locker room from WVU not knowing who Mr. Rogers is, bro. We got to.
Man.
we'll
fix
get him right. Zach Frazier, he's probably the last guy. Him and Isaac Siamolo on the team that I would mess with. and I tend to joke with Zach a lot, but man, he put his hands on me one time on the plane. I was messing with him in his per diem. Like I was taking his per diem, and he put his hands on my neck, dude. My neck was bruised. He just had me like this, and I'm strong, dude. Like I'm strong. I couldn't move. He had one hand on my neck.
Yeah.
Did he used to wrestle?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, he's a killer.
he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude. I'm excited to have him on. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. But boys, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this.
Same to you, dude.
All the
Same,
work
man.
all the work that goes into this, you know, I think it's kind of unseen. Like we you know, people think we just come here and record, and well, I do, but you know, you guys you guys put in some serious work, and I appreciate that, and appreciate all of our fans listening. And
that's not true too, man. Like when we need something for the show, like when we need like anything, like you're on that shit. You care and you work.
Yeah.
And so like
I
I don't
little
want you to.
I'm a little slow with my emails sometimes responding.
Slow
I'm
as
like,
hell, but you a good dude, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm on there.
You work harder than for what it was preventing. You probably wouldn't answer in the first place.
I'm on there. I'm like, don't worry, guys.
But
We
we're
got this.
athletes. That's why you guys are the
Dear
creatives.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
yeah. Yeah.
Super Bowl run this year? Question mark. Let's circle back.
Yeah.
Like, just real like corporate.
Oh, that would be great. But boys, I think we're about to hop on a meeting for the draft party and talk more about what we got going on. We'll have some fun events,
Yeah.
some live stuff. Us four will be there on stage. Jesse will have his own little section as always.
Jesse Island.
Yeah. it's
Trey
gonna be interesting.
Trey will be up and down from the stage in the crowd, engaging. What he's best at. He'll probably have sunglasses on.
100%.
And we'll be kicking it. So come join us. Come down. Come down.
Come down.
Did I say down?
Don.
A little bit?
Nah, you were all right.
Immediately I think of Shane Gillis. No, I'm not even
Yeah. Support us. Come down. Be rowdy. It's gonna be lit. So we're excited. Episode 41.
Yeah.
Ross Ventrone.
Wait, is this 41?
41, I believe.
think
Nah,
it's 40.
40. Ooh, who's
Makes
number 40?
41 is the only one that came to mind was Lee Flowers. You guys remember Lee Flowers?
I do
40 is
remember.
a tough one. Who's 40? We're probably looking like crazy right now.
The
It's probably
only-
like
the
Who was the
40 I
corner?
know.
Who was the corner that we had that Ross talked about? What the hell was his name?
41 was Blake.
Antoine Blake.
Antoine
He was
Blake.
41?
Yeah.
That was he's
I
a
don't
great
know
one.
a 40.
I don't know 40.
I only
either.
know 140 in all of the NFL, to be honest with you. That's Mike Allstott.
Oh God, one of my
Mike
favorites.
This is Mike Allstott episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this
All right,
is.
Mike Allstott episode. Like, share, subscribe. Get your ass down to the draft party. We'll be there live. Come join us. Share this. Like it. Repost. Comment. Shout out Don Palmacina. You're listening till the end. I kept it short for you because he said, it's some of the episodes are a little long. This one's for you. I cut it short.
That's funny.
Share it now, Dom.
Come on, Dom.
Boom.
Shout out to my Uncle Dom,
We'll
too.
see you at the draft party.